Namo Narayana and welcome back. Today we are starting chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. Vijitashva, the eldest son of Maharaja Prithu, who had a reputation like his father's, became emperor and gave his younger brothers different directions of the world to govern, for he was very affectionate toward his brothers. Maharaja Vijitashva offered the eastern part of the world to his brother Haryaksha, the southern part to Dhumrakesha, the western part to Vrika, and the northern part to Dravina. Formerly, Maharaja pleased the king of heaven, Indra, and from him received the title Antardana. His wife's name was Shikhandini, and by her he begot 3 good sons. The 3 sons of Maharaja were named Pavaka, Pavamana, and Tsuti. Formerly, these 3 personalities were the demigods of fire, but due to the curse of the great sage Vasishtha, they became the sons of Maharaja Antardana. As such, they were as powerful as the fire gods, and they attained the destination of mystic yoga power, being again situated as the demigods of fire. Maharaja Antardana had another wife named Navasvati, and by her he was happy to begot another son named Havridana. Since Maharaja was very liberal, he did not kill Indra when the demigod was stealing his father's horse at the sacrifice. Whenever Maharaja, the supreme royal power, had to exact taxes, punish his citizens, or fine them severely, he was not willing to do so. Consequently, he retired from the execution of such duties and engaged himself in the performance of different sacrifices. Although Maharaja was engaged in performing sacrifices, because he was a self-realized soul, he very intelligently rendered devotional service to the Lord, who eradicates all the fears of his devotees. By thus worshipping the Lord, Maharaja, wrapped in ecstasy, attained his planet very easily. Havardhana, his son, had a wife named Havardhani, who gave birth to 6 sons named Barhishat, Gaya, Shukla, Krishna, Satya, and Shitavrata. Barhishat was very expert in performing various kinds of fruitive sacrifices, and he was also expert in the practice of mystic yoga. By his great qualifications, he became known as Prajapati. He executed many sacrifices all over the world, and scattered kusha grasses, and kept the tops of the grasses pointed eastwards. Prajapati was ordered by the supreme demigod Brahma to marry the daughter of the ocean named Shatruti. Her bodily features were completely beautiful, and she was very young. She was decorated with proper garments, and when she came into the marriage arena and began circumambulating it, the fire god Agni became so attracted to her that he desired her company, exactly as he had formerly desired to enjoy Shuki. When Satraduti was being married, the denizens of Gandharvaloka, the great sages, and the denizens of Siddhaloka, the earthly planets, and Nagaloka, although highly exalted, were all captivated by the tinkling of her ankle bells. The pair begot 10 children. All of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and all of them were known as the Prasetas. When all these Prasetas were ordered by their father, Prajapati, to marry and beget children, they all entered the ocean and practiced austerities and penances for 10,000 years. Thus they worshipped the master of all austerity, the Lord. When all the sons of Prajapati left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shiva, who, out of great mercy, instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prajapati meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention. Vidura then asked Maitreya, "My dear Brahmana, why did the Prasetas meet Lord Shiva on the way? Please tell me how the meeting happened, how Lord Shiva became very pleased with them, and how he instructed them. Certainly such talks are important, and I wish that you please be merciful upon me and describe them." Best of the Brahmanas, it is very difficult for living entities encaged within this material body to have personal contact with Lord Shiva. Even great sages who have no material attachments do not contact him, despite their always being absorbed in meditation to attain his personal contact. Lord Shiva, the most powerful demigod, second only to Lord Vishnu, is self-sufficient. Although he has nothing to aspire for in the material world, for the benefit of those in the material world, he is always busily engaged everywhere and is accompanied by his dangerous energies like the goddess Kali and goddess Durga. My dear Vidura, Because of their pious nature, all the sons of Prajapati very seriously accepted the words of their father with heart and soul, and with the words on their heads they went toward the west to execute their father's orders. While traveling, they happened to see a great reservoir of water which seemed almost as big as the ocean. The water of this lake was so calm and quiet that it seemed like the mind of a great soul, and its inhabitants, the aquatics, appeared very peaceful and happy to be under the protection of such a watery reservoir. In that great lake there were different types of lotus flowers. Some of them were bluish, and some of them were red. Some of them grew at night, and some in the day, and some, like the Indavara lotus flower, in the evening. Combined together, the lotus flowers filled the lake so that the lake appeared to be a great mine of such flowers. Consequently, on the shores there were swans and cranes, kakravakas, karandavas, and beautiful water birds standing about. There were various trees and creepers on all sides of the lake, and there were mad bumblebees humming all about them. The trees appeared to be very jolly due to the sweet humming of the bumblebees, and the saffron, which was contained in the lotus flowers, was being thrown into the air. These all created such an atmosphere that it appeared as though a festival was taking place. The sons of the king became very much amazed when they heard vibrations from various drums and kettle drums, along with other orderly musical instruments pleasing to the ear. The Prasettas were fortunate to see Lord Shiva, the chief of the demigods, emerging from the water with his associates. His bodily luster was just like molten gold, his throat was bluish, and he had 3 eyes, which looked very mercifully upon his devotees. He was accompanied by many musicians who were glorifying him. As soon as the Prasettas saw Lord Shiva, they immediately offered their obeisances in great amazement and fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord. Lord Shiva became very pleased with them, because generally Lord Shiva is the protector of pious persons and persons of gentle behavior. Being very pleased with the princes, he spoke to them. We shall pause this video here, right when we get to the good part. It seems going into this new chapter, with the death of Maharaja Prithu, we find ourselves not traveling with him through the heavenly planets, but now into the next generation, a new story. So, until the next video, thanks for watching, and we shall see where this story goes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.